Okay, so let's begin this webinar. Welcome to another episode of Entab CampusCare EdTalks, an exclusive platform where we invite pioneers from the education industry to share their years of experience and insights with us. So before moving forward, let me introduce you to Entab. With the experience of more than 2 decades, Entab has been associated with over 1,500 schools across India, evolving them to become new-age digital campuses by providing them mature and futuristic ERP, CRM, and mobile apps. In today's session, we'll discuss about understanding remote assessments. We'll understand that how has the purpose of assessments changed over time and move towards being holistic. We'll also learn the importance of technology for smooth assessments. To discuss the same, we have Gurshminder Singh, Jagpal, Principal and Director, Guru Ramdas Academy, Ludhiana, Punjab. In his educational journey of more than 38 years, Sir has authored 3 books of poetry and translated the works of eminent Punjabi poets to English. So, welcome to the show, sir.
Morning, Meghaji, and all our viewers who have joined in, or maybe they are trying to trickle in. I'm waiting for the whole thing to happen. Thank you for taking me on.
Thank you so much, sir. So, sir, moving on, so before starting, I would just like to remind to all the viewers, to all the people who are watching us, so do subscribe our channel and hit that bell icon. Also, we are coming up with some regular vlogs where you'll have all the insights from the corporate world. So, do subscribe it. And moving on to the webinar. So, sir, the first thing our audience would like to know that how has the purpose of assessments changed with time and now moving towards a holistic approach. So, what's your take on this, sir?
Meghaji, the pandemic has exposed the education system to various challenges and opportunities. The focus has shifted from assessment of learning to assessment for learning. Students are now supposed to be equipped with the ability to solve problems. As such, the focus of assessment has shifted from testing primarily rote memorization skills to one that is more formative, is more competency-based, promotes learning and development for our students, and tests higher order skills such as analysis, critical thinking, and conceptual clarity.
Right.
Competency-based questions now can come in the form of multiple choice questions, case-based questions, source-based integrated questions, etc., etc. Holistic assessment is the end thing. It uses multiple sources to continually gather information on a child's development, to provide feedback, to support and guide learning. Holistic assessment is basically child-centric.
Right. Absolutely.
That's
right.
it.
Okay, yes. So the holistic approach, as you mentioned, is basically child-centric, student-centric.
That's
And
that's
yes,
right.
yes. And so also slowly and gradually the schools are moving on more to the student-centric approach.
That's right.
And okay, so
It's more of helping the child,
right,
meander through the labyrinth of information that he has, and gradually guide him through the process.
right, absolutely right. So, shifting to remote learning was new and sudden to all of us, we know. So, how difficult it was to conduct the examinations and assessments in the remote learning.
Meghaji, it was, quite a roller coaster ride for all involved, be it students, parents, teachers, and the schools alike. Each one was expected to navigate their path through the unrest and uncertainty of remote education.
Right.
Much got to be experimented upon. Conducting examinations online tested the nerves of the teachers no end. And invigilation proved quite a challenge. It wasn't easy to monitor the fair intent of the examinee online.
Right.
You never knew who would be playing, fast with the system.
Yes.
And there are many loopholes that need to be plugged.
And sir, what I feel ki teachers, बच्चों से ज़्यादा, it was a difficult challenge for the teachers, for the school.
Yes.
Ki how to
The
design
teacher
the
was
process.
Absolutely right. There was, nothing that that was there with us. We were treading on a path that was almost, uncertain.
Right.
And each school was trying to give the very best within the constraints that one faced, the constraints of time, the constraints of not being able to know where to go and how to go about. So the where, when, how, and what, everything was being put to test. And, conducting examinations became a real challenge.
Right.
The focus also shifted from subjective tests to the objective tests. Much of the testing had to be customized, as per the choice provided by the various platforms like Google and Zoom. And there wasn't much to pick from. We were trying to get things as were served to us by these platforms. Maybe as we evolve, as we go deep into the process, maybe something better would be at place.
Right.
The speed of internet, power failures, and technical snags added to compound the confusion.
Yes.
I hope, you would understand the plight of a teacher through this.
Yes, sir. And also, I just wanted to share, during the lockdown when the DU college students were having the exams, school students, मतलब उस time पे भी problem आई थी, मतलब बच्चों का examination paper submit नहीं हो पाया sir online.
हाँ जी.
Paper submission.
That all, बिल्कुल जी, that depended on the speed of the internet,
Right.
And there were also times when the kids complained of a power failure. Though there were many who were very honest in doing what they were doing, but unfortunately the system did not allow them to be taken in. Yes. And they had to be almost barred from being accepted. But then the human element comes into play. There were teachers and there were parents and there were also the administrators, the principals who knew the challenges that the new system had imposed on us. And we were trying to give a real human touch to the technical, scenario. The idea was to keep everyone much in their comfort zones, not to stretch them hard enough.
Right. So, okay, Gurshminder sir, moving on. So, also, what were the, the audience wants to know that what were the major challenges schools and teachers faced due to remote learning? So, what are your views on this?
Meghaji, the COVID-19 pandemic, it thrust remote education into the spotlight. We were not much into it earlier. Remote teaching learning presented its fair share of challenges and proved problematic for the teachers and the students alike. All users were being stretched to their limits. It wasn't beneficial to children whose parents could not help. If you had a parent who was educated back home, he would assist, but in the lack of an educated parent, the child was at the wilderness. He was at the crossroads. Not much, came to his help. What works well in teacher-led, learning environment does not always translate perfectly to good remote learning. There is a teacher who always gives a pat here and there, who, is a morale booster, who guides you through the processes. Everything went missing, The physicality of the relationship wasn't there. And it deprived both the teachers and students of the basic niceties of the relationships. An odd pat for a good deed done, or the comforting hand when the going is tough. Everything became a casualty.
Right.
The friendships, the caring and sharing, and the rugged games in the playfields, all went missing, which turned young boys and girls into, responsible men and women and ready for their lives. However good the remote education ends up becoming,
yes,
it will always remain a poor substitute to a healthy regular schooling. It has its own benefits. And I think you will vouch for it, and most of our viewers would also agree with the thing that things are not what they seem to be, however hard you try online. Distractions also proved, quite a problem. Imagine a child back home and a mother, trying to bring a glass of milk, or maybe a dog or a puppy somewhere roaming around, and the child gets distracted. Right. So there were many, many such instances which only added to, either distract or to complicate the normal learning processes. And many struggle to engage the children constructively due to poor online content also. People were not ready for it, that we have to go online. So that also resulted in much chaos that one had to face in the initial stages of it all. Remote learning is more vulnerable to technical issues. Right. From unstable network connection to power failures, the list of things can go on.
Yes.
And in the classroom, you have a teacher who can monitor and adjust according to the pace of the child. But here, you are deprived of all such things. And most often you also found that the learners may end up either staying silent or put on a brave face and then leave the class despondent, frustrated, and having learned nothing at all. So we had our hands full.
Yes. But despite of all these challenges, as it was new to all, but sir, I must say, like, the way the schools handled all the things, it was just commendable.
I can only thank you for being with us. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. So, okay. So, sir, moving on to the end of the webinar. So, sir, will it be true to say that without technology, none of this could have happened?
Certainly, you have to appreciate technology for bailing us out of this situation. And no teaching learning would have been possible had it not been for the technological advances that we have made as a community. Platforms like Zoom, Google, TeamLink, etc. came as the saviors. The internet made the school accessible at home. The school really walked into the people's drawing rooms and the bedrooms and whatnot. We had a student sitting and getting access to all kind of things. And what was good here, it was not the child who was getting educated alone. There were many a parent, who were getting to have a direct peep into the system. Right. How do the schools operate? And maybe their confidence levels must have gone many notches higher after seeing the teachers help, the students the way they did. Right. And I think the teaching fraternity deserves much more than a mere thought in a scenario which has been so, which had stretched them so long and so hard.
Yes, sir. I mean,
so technology and Meghaji, technology made sailing through the storm possible.
Yes. And also, sir, I would like to add, teachers acted as the real warriors. Like students.
Yeah, they did, Jay.
Right. Because
they were the frontline warriors.
Exactly. Because what happens to students, बच्चों की classes are 8 बजे सुबह. But the teachers have to get up early to prepare, like उनको क्या बच्चों को सिखाना है, तो उनका पूरी planning preparation करनी है apart from like their home.
Megha, what is it? When the teacher is in the classroom with the kids, it's a different environment.
Absolutely, that's what.
But when you know that you are facing the camera, that there are more eyes, riveted at you, then you tend to be nervous. Everyone, you are under the scanner. Each and every, activity is monitored. You are under the scanner. Everyone is dissecting you to the minutest.
Yes.
There are people who stand by you. There have been many parents who stood by the teachers, appreciated their efforts. There were others who were very, vocal in their complaints. Right. I think the teacher deserves a chance to be praised. They have remained the unsung heroes.
Absolutely.
Through it all.
And yes, Yes, I would just like to mention all the teachers, they become the actors. Like sub screen pe the
Yes,
and
yes. That's true. They were, they brought the best out of them.
yes.
Their versatility was a display,
Yes.
and I think they emerged victorious. We need to, we need to celebrate their being there with us.
Absolutely right. So, I mean, kiddos to the education community, like through this pandemic, like great. So,
Thank you very much.
thank you so much, Gurshminder sir, for sharing your valuable insights upon this topic, and it was great interacting with you. So, thank you so much, sir.
Same here, and God bless, and may the best happen to all of us, the educators, the teachers, the schools, and may we be out of this also. It has gone a bit too long.
Right.
May our prayers get answered. Thank you very
Yes.
much, Megha. God bless.
Thank you so much, sir. And yes, to all the viewers who are watching us, if you haven't subscribed the channel, do subscribe it and hit that bell icon. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay away from Corona.